you everybody for joining us for our Destiny mini session number 2. This time we're going to only focus on student fines and lost books, updating, adding, deleting, and all the things that go with that. Please take a moment to sign in. Please use the QR code. Use your phone, but if you do not, please remember that I can always get the Google Meet attendance afterwards. Give it one more minute. All right, we are going to move on, but like I said, I will get the Google Meet attendance just in case you are having trouble with signing in. Thank you. All right, so like I said, today we're going to be talking about adding and updating student fines and how to update lost books. Please remember that we are focusing solely on the library side. We are not talking about fines within Resource Manager. We're not talking about fines within textbooks. We're not talking about fines with technology. This is solely about library books. So, in order for us to get into the area in which we need to circulate books, which is how the books come in and out of the library, you need to make sure that you're logging in to Destiny by clicking on the tile. You're pressing the login button and then clicking on that Palm Beach SAML login. And to get to the back office, which is where we're going to be working in for the fines and the lost books and everything like that, you want to go to your waffle choices and just make sure that you are working in the back office. That is where the private information and the updating takes place. Nobody else has access to the back office except for library administrators and media clerks for the library side. So to access student accounts, you can go to checkout, you can scan their ID, or you can type in their name. So I'm going to do what I normally do, which is toggle between presentation mode and also Destiny mode. That way you can see it in real life and what I'm talking about. So here I am, I'm under circulation, check out. I can look up a student by their name. I can look up a student by their district ID. I can look up a student now. You guys are very lucky because we didn't have that before, which is hopefully every kid is wearing their name tag with their ID, and you can just scan their barcode and it should pop right into the student's account. If books are overdue, once you click on the student's name, it's going to be underneath their account. So if you click on a student's name and there is material underneath, that means the student has materials checked out. These materials live here forever. You will either have to mark these books lost or the students will have to check them in order to remove them from the account. So this is very important to understand. When a student checks out a book in kindergarten, they have never returned it, and now they're in middle school and high school, these books are still underneath that student's account. So what we're going to focus on today is ways to minimize this from happening and different things that we can do to ensure that the materials get either marked lost or get off the student's account. When you see information like this on your screen and the due date is in red, that means that the book is overdue. It's late. Destiny also gives you that sound if you have your sound on while you're doing checking in and checking out to let you know that something is either wrong with the account or something is wrong or the book was marked a certain way if and when it returns and comes back. You need to mark the book as lost. So how do you do that? You would click on the side of the book that says lost, and then the system walks you through the steps. All right. So for instance, I have one pulled up right here from Alamanda. This student, the due date was 3/17/25. It's in red. So it was due last March. It has not returned yet. Now, when I see this, if I scroll to the right of the screen, I see renew or I see lost. The minute I click on lost, it's going to ask me if I want to assess a fine. The system may know the cost of the book. The system may not know the price of the book. You don't have to go with what the system tells you. If I want to charge $3, I can charge $3. If I want to charge a penny, I can charge a penny. If I want to charge $1, I can charge $1. You don't have to keep what the system says it is. If you do want to charge a fine and you do not have anything right here in this box, it's going to ask you how much do you want to charge for it. If I already know how much I bought the book for, I can put the price in there. If I don't know, I can look on Amazon, I can look in Barnes & Noble, I can make a generic price. Some things to keep in mind. When you mark it as a 0, no fine is going to be added to the student's account. However, once you click OK, the book is going to be removed from the student's account. And now, if the fine is $1 or more, it's now going to live in the student's fines, and the book will be marked lost. That is the only way to manually get the books off of the student's account, and you don't want them to live in the account. Remember that moving books to lost does not mean you are deleting the book. All right. Also, things to keep in mind is you can adjust and change the fine that you create at any moment. So at any moment, if you created a fine, if they pay for it, if you change your mind, if you want to delete it, if you want to edit the amount, you can always go into the system and change it. It's not set in stone. So how do you do that? You can go to the fines option button on the left-hand side, or you can go to the student profile and update the fine. So for instance, if I am in Alamanda, I'm going to just copy this barcode really quick so I don't lose it. Okay. So if I'm here, I'm going to say I'm going to charge the $9.99. I'm going to click OK. Now, when I come back to the student's account, he has fines here under fines, but notice no book is checked out. I can now go to fines. I'm going to click on it in blue. And now I see two things. I see two fines here. However, notice something. I have a pencil and a trash can here, and then nothing up here. You can only edit and delete a fine that you create. So if I click on the trash can, I can click on the trash can, and now I'm going to delete that fine. If I want to change the cost of it, I can now put a pencil, and now I can edit the price. Also, if I again see that Brian has ruined a book, I can go into his account at any time and I can add a fine. And when you do that, it's going to ask you why you want to add a fine, what kind of material is it, the barcode, how much, and you click save. And when you click save, it's now going to be added onto the student's profile. So you can actually add a fine to a student account whenever you want. If you do not see the pencil and the trash can, that means it is not your fine and you cannot delete it. If you see that it has an RM next to it, that means that that is a resource manager fine and you cannot delete it. So you could only delete LM fines from your school that they create. It doesn't necessarily have to be you that creates it. It can be the clerk. It can be a media specialist before you. It can be somebody else, but it's your school that assesses the fine that you can change. All right, so you've made a fine. Now the kid comes in with money. What do? You are not to give change out. So I do not suggest that you make a fine for $4.25. I don't suggest you make a fine for the $9.99, $5.99, right? You don't want to have to be in a spot where you have to give back change. You should not have money lying around to give back change. All right. So when you're making your fines and you want a kid to pay for a book, just make sure it's an even amount of money so that they can come in and do that and explain to the child or the parent that you're not going to give money back. Right? So it's going to be very hard if a kid comes in to pay for a book for $15 and they're coming in with a 20. You're going to have to go all around the school to look for change, or your bookkeeper is not going to be happy with you for them to try to do it. So try to minimize collecting change as much as possible. So when a student comes in with money, you're going to go into their account and their fines. And again, the system's going to walk you through it. Where it says pay, that is where you're going to put in the amount of money that the kid paid. Then you always want to print a receipt so there's proof. Give the student back the receipt so that they have a record that they have paid for the fine. All right, then you would click update. So again, what does that look like in Destiny? All right, I have the book, Jen. I know she's on here somewhere. All right, so the kid comes in, he's upset. He's going to pay the $9.99 to get rid of this book on his account. So right here, he's coming in. He's going to pay $9.99. I'm going to click print receipt. Now I'm going to click update. When I click update, it's going to give you a receipt to then print for your records and to give back to the student. Notice now, when I am in the student's account and I click update, come on. Now, it should have, in essence, taken it away. Let's see. There you go. I don't know why. So up here, it'll say fine updated. And now when I go to the kid's account to check out, notice that the fine is lower and the book is gone. All right. So when they give you money, you got to make sure that you're updating it not only through the bookkeeper, but you're also updating it inside Destiny. You should not be keeping money. The minute you get the money from the student, you should be going down and giving it to the bookkeeper, filling out the money's collected form, and then that money goes back into your internal accounts for books. So you should be getting all that money back to get new books. Now, they've added a new feature within Destiny which is that you can actually add a fine while you're checking books in. So a lot of us have book drops, right? So as you're checking in books, if you notice that a book comes back broken, it comes back wet, it's very sticky, they've damaged a book, and you want to add a fine, it's very simple now because right in the check-in screen, there is a thing that says create a fine. So again, it's going to walk you through the process of asking you, okay, why are you creating the fine? What is wrong with the book? And then up to you on what you want to charge. But you do have the option of adding a fine during check-in. Now, you might be asking yourself, you go to the student's account, you can't update the fine. There's not a pencil, you can't remove it. What do? Remember, only the fine that your school creates can be deleted. So if I'm the new media specialist at Saddleview and I go to check out books to my students and the students have fines at Binks Forest, I cannot go in and delete the fines at Binks Forest under the kid's account. That is when you would have to go onto the Library Currents website, find the name of the media specialist and the phone number, or email and call the clerk or the media specialist and say, hey, please remove this book from the student's account. They will let you know if they want the money back or not, but only the school that has and does the fine can remove the fine for you. All right. If you have emailed, you've tried to contact the media specialist over and over and over again, please go ahead and contact me. I can help remediate the situation and or clear a student's account. But always go to the school-based media specialist first. Okay. Also, we do not want the books living in the student's account. Remember that they should, hopefully, as they transfer over to middle school, to high school, you want to clear their account, or up to you, but you can actually create a policy inside Destiny that's going to take the books underneath the student's account after a certain amount of time and automatically mark them as lost, which means you're automatically getting the books off the student's account. You don't have to do anything else. So how do you do that? You're going to go into Destiny if you're not there already, and you're going to go into the admin portion of Destiny. Again, you don't have to do this. You can manually do it, but you can also create a policy and a procedure that will automatically do this for you. So underneath admin, you're going to go to library policies. And now you're going to see two tabs at the top that says patron types and circulation types. You're going to click on circulation types. And what you're looking for is the default circulation type regular. So again, as I'm explaining that, I'm going to go into Destiny. I'm going to go to the admin portion. I'm going to go to library policies. At the top, I'm going to click on circulation types. And I'm going to scroll down until I get to regular default. Right here, it's going to tell you this is the default of the books. If you want to change anything under that, you're going to click the pencil. So when I click the pencil, notice that this box, overdue to lost, it's not automatic and it's not clicked on. If you want the system to remove books off the student account after a certain amount of days for you, which means you don't have to clear the account all the time, you're going to click on overdue to lost, and you're going to create a time frame that you wish for yourself. Give yourself ample time to get the books back so that not all your books marked are marked as lost. but also give enough time to where you realize if a book is not coming back after this amount of days, it's probably lost. Again, completely up to you on whether or not you want to set this policy. So you can, again, give yourself, I would say, a minimum of 60 days, but you can click anything there that you want. Also, you also can, the system, once it's marked lost, can automatically create a fine if that's what you want. However, you have to go in your site configuration and click on automatically assess a fine when a book is lost. If you do not click this, it's not going to assess a fine. It's just going to mark the book as lost. So again, this is what you want to think about. A student has a book that is not coming back. I have now set my policy that every 60 days, any book that's overdue is going to move to my lost. Do I want to charge the students for these books? If the answer is yes, and you're going to create this policy of them automatically moving to lost, then you want to make sure that you are going to site configuration. And I'm going to walk you through that now, and you're clicking the automatically create a fine. If the purchase price is not there, it's going to use the max fine in your library policies, which is the maximum you want to charge a student for lost material. If there's not a maxed fine or there's not the set price, it's going to create a 0. And remember that when it's a 0 is created, there's no fine. All right, so again, I'm going to go into Follett Destiny. I'm going to go into site configuration. Now I'm in policies. I'm going to go to site configuration. This is all about circulating the books. So up at the top, I'm going to go to the circulation tab. And right here, automatically calculate fines for overdue items. I wouldn't do that one. I would do this one. Automatically calculate overdue fine when the book is, no, we want this one. Sorry. When fines are overdue. Is that the one I want? Yes. For overdue fines. Okay. But that is where you would set the policy. Again, do not touch the resource. You don't want resource. You're just focused on the library side. Go ahead, Erica.
Stephanie, where do you go if you then want to set a certain amount for the fine?
So let me go back here to Follett.
Sorry, I might have missed it.
Oh, no, you're fine. Okay, so under library policies, patron types, you want to scroll down now until you get to the student. Click on the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see where it says max fine.
So
this school has it at $5.
Let me see yours. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll do it again. So I'm in library policies.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to scroll down till I get to student.
Okay.
Then there should be a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Click on the pencil, and now the last column says max fine.
Oh, okay.
So if the system does not have the price of the book, it's going to give the student the max fine. If there's no max fine amount here and there's no price for the book is going to disappear under lost, and the student's not going to get assessed.
Got it.
If you do not want to set the policy and you don't want to do it automatically, you can do a manual mass deletion. So that would require at the end of the year, every year, that you go in, you realize that all these books now are lost or they're not coming back. However, this is a mass deletion. So this is different. You're going to take the books that are underneath the student's account and you're going to delete them from the system because you realize they're not coming back. So if they do come back, you're going to have to re-add them to the catalog. But we're going to set that, and we've done this a couple times, so I'm going to go through it again. So again, when you want to delete mass amount, you're going to go to reports, library reports, and you're going to click on the title and copy list. You want to change the show titles by with checked out copies. You're going to put the output as Microsoft Excel because the system, and you can manipulate the data in an Excel spreadsheet and then change it to a plain text and then talk to the system that way. All right, so when you want to manipulate the data and use the information from Destiny, you want to convert and make sure the output of the report is in an Excel spreadsheet. So then you're going to click Run Report or Save Setup, whatever you want to do. And then you're going to open your spreadsheet, and you only need 2 columns. You're going to get a lot of information, but you're only focused on 2 columns. You are focused on the due date, and you are focused on the barcode. You can delete everything else that's on that spreadsheet. You don't need it. So you're focusing on 2 columns. Once you have your 2 columns, you're going to press the Sort A to Z button within Excel, and you're going to sort it from A to Z. So what you're doing is you are sorting your due date column by earliest to latest. Then you're going to click Sort. What that does is that puts all the checkout dates of when it was checked out, like I said, from earliest to latest. You're going to say, you know what? The books that have been checked out for 5+ years, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete and weed those books out of my system because they're not coming back. I would give yourself at least 2 or 3 years, depending on what you want, to try to get those books back. So if you're going to do the title and copy list now and delete books that are still checked out underneath student's account, I would only delete the titles up into 2023 at this point. So once I have my date sorted, I'm going to copy all the barcodes of the books up until 2023. I'm just going to go down the column and I'm going to delete all the barcodes that I don't want anymore. I'm going to right click, I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go on the bottom of my computer and type in Notepad. And now I'm going to paste it into Notepad and click Save. That's going to save it as a plain text. So again, what does that look like in Destiny? So I'm going to pick a school. I go all the way down the bottom. Let's go to Westward. I'm going to go to Reports, Library Reports. Right here is the title and copy list. I'm going to leave the first part, and now I'm going to click and change the show titles with checked out copies. And I'm going to change the output to Excel, and I'm going to click Run Report. When it's ready, I'm going to click View. And of course, the computer is saying that Excel is running into problems. I don't know if you guys are getting that or it's just my computer. So let me just give it one moment. Okay, so here's my spreadsheet. And again, I don't care about any of this stuff from J all the way to S. I'm going to click delete. I don't care about anything before the barcode. I'm going to click delete. Status, I know it's checked out because I only asked for checked out materials, so I can delete that column. So again, all I'm working with is the barcode of my book and the due date in which the book was overdue or when it was checked out. So now I'm going to click on B, and right here at the top, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a sort A to Z. When I click on that, I'm going to click sort A to Z. I'm going to say okay. And now again, notice here that I have books. Students have books underneath their account from 2010. Those need to be deleted out. So I'm going to now copy all my barcodes of books all the way up until I don't want that anymore. So I'm going to go all the way to 2023. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to right click. I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go in my computer and type in Notepad. Then I'm going to paste my barcodes in Notepad. And now I'm going to save it. You could save it to your desktop. You can save it to your downloads, wherever you're going to find your list of books that you want to delete. I'm now going to go back into Destiny. And because we are making adjustments to the catalog, you're going to be working in the catalog button. And what am I doing? I'm trying to remove the books from students' account. So I'm going to be updating the copies in my catalog. So I'm going to click on Update Copies. I am not deleting one barcode. I am deleting multiple barcodes. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click on the tab Batch Delete, because I'm deleting a bunch of books at one time. So when I click on Batch Delete, it's going to ask me, okay, what are you deleting? Where is it? And now I'm going to choose the file. And right here is my Westword file. I'm going to press open. And you're going to see your file right next to where it says choose file. And I'm going to click update. The minute I click update, it's going to take the books that were underneath the student account it's going to run, and this might take a little bit just because there was a bunch of books underneath the student account. Now, you won't have to do any of this if you set your policy and it automatically does it for you. So again, you can decide which option works best for you in your management style of how you're handling the books within your library. We'll come back to that so I can just show you what it goes through. This walks you through the whole thing. And again, once you hit delete, the books are going to be removed from the student account, and the system's going to give you a summary of what happened. So here, again, it read 437 book barcodes. It deleted 437 records from students' account. It's going to clear out the account. That does not assess a fine, though. Remember that. Now, when you mark a book as lost, those books are still inside your inventory. They're still accounted for. I like to think of the lost section as the back room of a warehouse. It's not on the floor, ready to be out and available to your customers and your patrons, but the lost section essentially is just in the back. It's not out right now. It doesn't, marking something as lost is not the same thing as deleting it out. So again, when you mark something as lost, it's okay, because if it comes back to you and you check it in, the system is just going to say, oh, you marked a book as lost. I've now found it. It is here. All right. Now, you would do the lost books and delete them out of your system the same way I just showed you. Instead of going to checked out books in the title and copy list, you would now change it to lost copies. But again, you would change the output and you would go through the same steps that we just went through for deleting books out of student account to deleting your lost books in your account. Books are not gone until you delete them from your lost. All right. So again, once your spreadsheet is ready of your lost books, you would go to press catalog, you would press update copies, you would click on batch delete, you would choose the file and you'll press update. Now those books are gone. They're out of your lost. If you do not delete your lost books and you leave them in lost, you're not going to have an accurate count of your books and of your inventory. When you run a title-wise analysis, when you run and the amount of books you have in your catalog, those books, the catalog and the program still think that you have books in your lost section when you know that you don't. So if I know that I had 10 Diary of the Wimpy Kids, 5 of them are lost, the system's still going to think I have 10 Diary of the Wimpy Kid books until I delete those 5 out of the lost. So deleting your lost books at least once a year is very important to keep your catalog updated. All right, because that's where you're going to get the most accurate numbers. Again, I would give, even with the checked out ones deleting it, a 2-year grace period of the books coming back to you before you delete them out of your system. All right. Now, I went through that very quickly, but like I said, this is going to be recorded. I'm going to stop the recording now so that I can answer any questions, but this recording will be available on our YouTube channel. It will be passed out and it will also be on our library currents page so that you can always refer back to it just in case you need more help. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording.